Welcome to another Overthunk movie review. I'm Keegan,
This is Ezra.
and today we're switching names and hitting you up with a review of Deadpool 2.
Huh.
Is that how you feel about the movie?
I don't know. A bit better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, like, I think while we were watching it and as we left the theater, we were like, "Frick, that was really good."
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't thought about it in the time that has passed since. So I don't know. I've had a lot going on in my life. That's full disclosure.
Too fair. Yeah.
But I've thought about other movies since then. So I don't know.
Thought about movies we watched last year.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. You?
Yeah, I think. Let's start by saying the first one was a great movie and was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
In the superhero genre, which has become the new Western. That's very much the buzzword now on the internet. Superhero movies are the new Westerns. And now,
I
with
hate buzzwords.
but now with Logan and with Logan.
You're doing your thing again.
I
You
am.
start off a list and there's one item on that list.
Well, Logan has started the kind of the post-superhero movie.
Yeah.
So the post-Western to the Western.
Yeah.
Where, showing it in maybe a gritty, more realistic way.
Yeah.
The real ramifications, the emotional distress
Yeah.
they're having. And this is, I guess, the start of the kind of spoof.
Yeah.
And I say this one because Deadpool 1, like I said, it seems like a very creative, very interesting take. A difficult character. A difficult character to bring to life from the comics, given how controversial the comic version of Deadpool is. There's a lot of things in the comics that they obviously cannot do on film. It's just too much, and you lose a lot of the audience. So yes, Deadpool 1, very good, very solid. It's a couple of glaring issues that are, I think, overtaken by how fun and just
So the type of movie you can forgive the flaws because just laughed your ass off throughout. Yeah.
Whereas I guess in Deadpool 2, it's a different thing now because it's no longer fresh.
So you think the gimmick has worn off a little bit?
I don't know if the gimmick has worn off, but I was expecting something as creative, I guess. And while there were a lot of creative choices that I agreed with and that I thought were very funny, I don't know if it really was as enjoyable as Deadpool 1 for me. Having said that, good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yes, yeah. I think we also have to remember that Deadpool 1 built up a sort of fan base, I think, because of what it was. And I guess too much strain from that for this would have maybe not brought in the crowds as much. I don't know.
That's true.
It's a very generic take, but that's how these movies work. That's how these
that's the machine.
think. Yeah,
that's the Hollywood machine.
Yeah.
So what did you think of, like, before we delve into story, just like technically?
Yeah. So it's directed by David Leitch or Leitch, who did Atomic Blonde and an uncredited director on John Wick 1, which is a personal favorite of mine. Really like that. And a lot of the action sequences here are great. There's one that comes to mind is one of the like goons running towards the camera, and in the background you just see Deadpool just lay mayhem to everyone else, and it's just like this
very good shot.
Yeah, this like I don't know, it's probably like a minute long unbroken shot. And I think that's the type of thing I love to see always. And yeah, most of the action sequences here are great. I think there's a lot of potential with Deadpool as a character in terms of fighting style because he has mastery of both of the main forms of fighting. So from that perspective, I think we're always going to get some great action scenes from a Deadpool movie. So yeah, from that perspective, I think it was really good. I wasn't bothered too much by any CGI moments. I know you said you had an issue with something, which I guess we'll get into. Spoilers at this stage. I think we should probably issue a spoiler.
Okay, we're gonna get into it right now. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. We can't really speak about Deadpool without the
Yeah.
story because it's quite integral
Yeah.
to what we think about it,
Mm.
and it's been out for a minute.
Yeah.
We've seen it by
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Sure. If you're watching this review, like, surely you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Yeah. So technically, not much to complain about, but not much. Wow.
Mhm.
Not much. Wow. What am I, a meme from 2015?
Yeah. I think for me, from a visuals point of view, it looked pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't think Colossus looks great.
Mm.
He looks okay. Like he's done,
There's a carried through problem, I guess.
Yeah.
Deadpool one.
relatively well. I mean, again, they didn't have the biggest budget, but he has a lot of screen time
Mm.
in this one.
Yeah.
And I would have liked for him to look a bit better. His face looks very fake.
I guess they sort of get away with it because he's sort of like a character you don't take seriously like every other character.
And I think what they've done relatively well is because it's very much like the anti-superhero comedy.
Mm.
All the heroes are just caricatures of
Mm.
what the hero is. Like Colossus
Yeah.
is very much being the straight-laced superhero to the extreme.
Yeah.
Negasonic Warhead is very much like the badass superhero, but to the
Yeah.
extreme, to the point where she's like not likable at all,
Yeah.
sort of thing. I mean, we like her just because of her character, but like in universe, that's the gimmick. So I guess maybe it plays into that. But
Yeah.
I would have liked to see a bit more expressive stuff on his face, which I thought I didn't pick up very well. The Juggernaut, I thought was cool. I liked how they brought him in. Very true to the
It's
character.
Very cool. It's very cool.
A lot of Deadpool is redeeming what the X-Men franchise did. Seems to be a recurring theme.
Mainly X-Men 3 though, if we're being honest.
Mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, having said that, I enjoyed Juggernaut's character, and I like what they did with him, but I don't think he looked great. He looked okay. Like you could recognize him, and hiding his face is a good thing because like CGI faces, it's very give and take unless you commit a lot of resources to it. You can very much end up having a movie ruining face because it's a distraction. But yeah, I don't think he looked that great. But my biggest problem visually in the film was the moment when is it Domino?
Yeah. Zazie Beetz.
Domino, played by Zazie Beetz, when she kind of lands from the parachuting sequence and is in the middle of the road. The argument is still going on whether luck is a power or not, and there's a moment where a truck, car, something flips over her in slow motion, and was the worst looking CGI car I've ever seen. It was very clearly fake. I liked her scenes. I thought Domino's scenes were great. They were really fun. They were really cool. Her having luck as a power opened up a lot of kind of opportunities for that kind of really cool choreography you couldn't really have in a fight scene otherwise, because you'd start to really lose the audience in terms of like, how is that really happening, sort of thing. You don't have to have your John Wick, Atomic Blonde kind of realism to bring us into the fight because it's explained by her power. There are a lot of really great decisions that went into this movie, basically, is what I'm saying. That car wasn't one of them.
Okay.
That's the only moments where I forgave Colossus, forgave Juggernaut, because them as characters really got to me. Josh Brolin as Cable, arm looked great, everything looked great, the scenes in the future, great. That moment was visually for me flawed.
For me, it didn't bother me because I don't know. I sort of had my disbelief suspended by the fact that she's got luck as a superpower. There's nothing for me to take seriously with that, and I just strapped in and had a good time with it.
So you thought luck as a superpower meant that cars just become not real?
Yeah, I just mean it didn't matter to me. It's like that's just the section of the movie where I was like, I don't care. You can throw nothing. You can throw like shit at me during this, and it would be okay.
I wouldn't be okay with that.
No, definitely.
It's the worst 4D experience ever. Just
that was dumb. Yeah, I just feel like that section of the movie it didn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
that was one of my main sources of amusement for the movie. Was just her having luck as a superpower.
It was
Just
cool.
the funniest thing ever. Just some of the things that were happening there was crazy. It was really funny.
Yeah. And then paired with that whole team, the whole X-Force
the whole X-Force
gag
thing, that's a great gag.
was
That's
amazing.
wonderful, yeah.
Gave us some of the best cameos we've seen
Yeah.
in a long time.
Yeah.
Terry Crews was so great. I know you really enjoyed Mr. Pitts,
Mr. Pitts?
Brad Pitt.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Just trying to make a joke,
Yeah.
man. Get on my level here, no?
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic.
That was an
It is
amazing
just
one.
literally like a split-second shot. It's beautiful.
It's very cool, and I think those moments, those really creative moments, are when the humor really shines through. Peter,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
so great, and it obviously being built up since that trailer. Didn't disappoint. It was still really funny.
That's the thing, like, they gave away so much in the trailers. We were worried that, that too many of their jokes, too many punchlines were given away before the movie, and it's just the fact that you could find so much to laugh about in the movie apart from that is just...
Yeah,
it's great.
and let's talk about the humor. I thought that, as I said, all the best humorous moments for me were when they let Deadpool do, that scene that you were talking about with the guy running away and Deadpool's doing his Deadpool in the background. Very cool kind of perspective, giving you a sense of that whole, you really take in everything because of your eye being drawn, and there are a lot of funny moments in that. The X-Force from beginning to end, the amazing cameo in the mansion, the X-Mansion.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Swinging
man,
door.
that's fantastic.
So great, just so many really cool moments like that. But then there's a lot of the movie which is taken up by like a very Judd Apatow style of comedy, where it's shot, reverse shot with just joke. And if every line is a joke, I did find myself finding that some of them just weren't landing.
Yeah, no, I did.
And I think that's just because it doesn't
Especially
matter.
early on, actually.
Yeah, like it started off kind of... It was a bit of a worrying... I think we were a little bit hesitant when the movie started as to like, where are they taking this? And I think that's just by virtue of it doesn't matter how strong your writing room is. If, every scene it's like, cool, so and he says a joke, and then we need a really good retort to that joke here. That has to carry through to this joke, and that joke, and that joke, and that joke, and that joke. And Ryan Reynolds is a funny guy.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, he got to play it straight. But Zazie Beetz is quite funny.
Yeah, she is.
And letting them be funny in their way, I think, was a lot better than a lot of the kind of lines that it sometimes felt kind of forced to me.
Okay.
T.J. Miller's lines were just really boring for me. I liked him in the first movie, and in the second movie they really just kept the gimmick going with jokes that were not nearly as good as they had been, and his character seemed strange.
Yeah.
Not as realized as in the first film, which is weird. Knowing, like the character, surely we know the character by now. Surely we'd feel.
Do you think maybe they cut some stuff from his?
It's possible
because of
the controversy around
so
him.
much content. Yeah. So
it's
maybe
possible.
that was like a last minute edit job. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think they would speak on that.
Yeah.
But it's that is, I guess, possible.
Yeah.
But I guess that's also my only other gripe with Deadpool. Is I really found myself laughing in moments, and then there were moments when I kind of got like sucked out of the humor, but just like a really whack line. I'd be like, and then you're right back in, because then there's something great.
Yeah.
And a bit of a whiplash sort of thing. My only problem with it story-wise is, well, it's not a problem with it story-wise, but the death of Vanessa was telegraphed from like 100 miles away.
It was.
And I don't know if that was on purpose.
Yeah.
If it was, I don't understand why.
No, I don't think you telegraph something like that on purpose. It's meant to be a moment that's like.
Because I know that scene. None of us. It's anecdotal, but none of us were like, "Oh no, she gonna die." She died, and we were like, "Yeah, I mean that's where that was going."
Yeah. I mean, didn't one of us say to each other like, "She's gonna die"?
She's gonna die. Yeah, I said to you, I was like, "She definitely gonna die." I guess I understand the choice to remove the character because there isn't really anywhere else you can go. They had their arc of getting together, and they have a perfect relationship.
Yeah.
Bringing their child into that, like an actual
Yeah.
child, would really muddy up
Yeah.
the way that the movie flowed. It kind of change the character in ways that, could be cool, but not great for the type of movie they're trying to make. And I guess for me, there were a bit of clashes with Deadpool's character. Going between the moments that he had in his, must be said, nice way that they kind of brought him into the upside down.
Yeah.
Through that thing where he was having these deep conversations and he had this personality, and then outside he kind of again went back to his very psychotic.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just felt a bit jarring for me. Not enough to take me out of the movie because, like I said, we went in to have fun. But if we're judging it, I feel like he had a character arc that went somewhere, and then also kind of just went back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And in a sense, also two different character arcs in a sense.
Yeah, simultaneously.
Yeah, it's weird. And then also we get into the whole time travel gimmick of resetting everything again. And
yeah.
That's just the flaw of superhero movies in general.
Yeah, and time travel as a concept, unless we're talking about really good movies about time travel, like Primer or 12 Monkeys or those sorts of films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's also something that takes away a little bit from it, even if it does give us one of the movie's best gags, being the mid-credits sequence, which is wonderful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. It was good.
Yeah. Dopinder was good as a side character.
Yeah.
Thought he was kind of funny. He brought some decent laughs.
Some really dark humor as well.
Yeah, which is good. I liked it. And weirdly enough, one of the darkest sources of humor in a Deadpool movie is this guy. But still, I'm not complaining. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
His character could have been very boring if they kind of rinsed and repeated the first film. So I'm glad they gave him a different angle. Yeah. Gave him some room to be funny. He did.
Yeah, fantastic.
The baby legs gag was amazing. That kind of stuff, that's really a creative use of the power in a way that can bring the laughs, and same way when you have to find creative ways to use, if you're in a superhero movie, the power to amaze, because after the first time you've seen Wolverine schnicked, it's not that big of a moment anymore. You've got to start being creative, and kudos to the team for coming up with some cool creative ways to bring Deadpool, which is not the most flashy power set to life, but other than that, it just struck me as a very funny, very forgettable film.
Yeah. So, rating?
I mean, it's gonna seem harsh, but I think I have set a bit of a precedent for myself, and I can't go back and start being nice now.
I mean, rate what you feel, bro.
Yeah, and I feel like I have to. And as much as I did enjoy the movie, I do feel very strongly about its negatives, and I'd rather rewatch Deadpool 1.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10.
Okay. Again, I feel like I'm just gonna slightly higher. I'm gonna go with the 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I mean, in some ways, it did what it needed to do. To give us more Deadpool, and that's all you can really say about it. I mean, it was quite forgettable, the fact that we haven't really thought about it or spoken about it much since it came out. I guess, that pretty much says everything. Yeah.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
So Deadpool, if you're a fan, or if you're just looking for a laugh, a bit of a lighthearted R-rated movie.
With the darkest humor ever.
With its super dark humor. I guess for us that's lighthearted. That says something about our characters. Our personalities, not characters. This isn't a movie. This is real life.
You're in your own movie.
I'm a side character. But I mean, if that's what you're looking for, look for it. But don't go looking for cinematic excellence. Because it won't be found here. But fun for what it is.
Yeah. So, Overthink official rating, 6.3 out of 10.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching this review. If you thought differently, let us know in the comments. Give us a subscribe if you'd like to see more mediocre reviews. We'll be hitting you up with a couple more albums. Quite a few have just dropped, and we'll be doing our mid-year list soon. So stay tuned for that. Keep overthinking about the movies and music that you consume, and stay salty.